What's up, horror fam?
You know what time it is.
And today we got some horror news.
Let's get into this.
All right, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? And welcome to the Horror Chronicles podcast.
Welcome to the Horror Chronicles dungeon. Yes.
That's right, guys.
It's
Horror
not
Chronicles.
really a dungeon. It's more of a...
Yeah, it's a she shed.
It's a she shed, yeah.
What's up, horror fam?
And my name's Cheryl.
Cheryl's she shed. What's up, everybody? As you can see, we're already on this one. Welcome to the Horror Chronicles podcast. We are at it again. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me, as always,
Sunday.
JG.
What's up, everybody?
That's right, guys. And as you heard, we got some horror news for you. We're going to go through some things going on and whatnot, and just have a cool guys conversation about some new stuff coming out and all kinds of stuff. But if you're not following us on Facebook, guys, jump on over there, follow us on our Facebook pages, and just, you know, man, it's growing and growing.
Yeah.
I want to give shout out to some people, you know, from other podcasts like Land of the Creeps and Phantom Galaxy.
Yes, absolutely. You guys rock.
You guys have been really showing love. We'll be showing love to you. This is what we like to do.
We're just all going to make love.
Make sweet love. Podcast love. No, but...
I like the way you say podcast.
That's right, guys. So jump on over to the Facebook page. Follow them as well over there. Follow their pages. Show them some love. And, you know, it's what we like to do here. If you want to peep some merch, you can go to teepublic.com, teepublic.com, and Horror Chronicles, and you'll see all of our stuff there, guys.
Yeah. We got a pretty good YouTube page going on right now.
Yeah.
Just go over to YouTube and click in the Horror Chronicles podcast.
And there we are, guys.
Actually, you don't even have to do that much. You can just click in Horror Chronicles and it'll find us.
It'll pop it up.
We're on Twitter. We're tweeters now.
Tweeter, damn right, Tweeter.
At the Horror Chron, HORRORCHRON. You'll find us there. And also Instagram.
Insta.
That neither one of us know how to use.
We're working on it, guys.
But hey, we're there.
We're new to the game. Like we're only 2 years old, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
What can 2-year-olds do?
We just barely learned how to walk.
So there you go. But anyways, guys, we're gonna get into some horror news. That's about it on everything. You know, we've been doing a lot of interviews, which we've been loving. And I gotta tell you, man, as far as podcast goes, we didn't think that's where we were going to be going, but I like it.
It's been fun. I mean, we've talked to some really cool people. You know,
I love it.
Last week we had Ash Green on.
One of my, you know what? I love it, dude. I like talking to people. I've been waiting so long for someone like Ash.
To me.
Yeah, I've been waiting for someone like Ash to come on and talk about, you know, witchcraft and magic and things like that. She'll be back on again. She was really awesome. It was an awesome conversation. So you haven't listened to that episode, guys, go back and listen to it. You guys will like it. I promise you.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool.
But yeah, we like talking to other people who are into the same things, you know, and it's becoming something that we prefer to do almost.
Yeah, it's really weird because I kind of feel naked just being the two of us here.
Yeah, well, it's because he's got no pants on.
I'm doing a no pants dance.
But anyway, so tonight, guys, we're gonna go into some horror news that we found. Some, you know, new movies coming out, maybe some stuff about some TV shows, some actual headline news things that are kind of weird, and just going to have a cool conversation about it.
Yeah.
So you guys can hear our lovely voices.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So to pop this one in there.
What are you talking about?
Well, okay. We all know that we love Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation and all that stuff, you know. I've been really enjoying the new Ghost Nation. A lot of people are mad right now because Discovery is going under the paywall thing.
Well, yeah, that is kind of fucked up.
So I was going to get your view on that and see what you were thinking about it, you know.
Here's the deal. Discovery has been free not free. I mean, you get it with a paid subscription to your cable provider or satellite provider, whatever you choose. There's no judgment here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of companies, and I kind of get it. I understand. But there's a lot of companies going to these paying services, and Discovery's no different. They have their new service called Discovery Plus, and for, how much ever money a month, I think it's like $10 a month, you can watch the same shows that you could watch for free last week. Now they're on Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about that is you can no longer watch those same shows for free because they're going to take them off the air. You have to pay to see them now.
Well, some do.
And that kind of chaps my ass.
Yeah, and I will say that Jason and the crew have came out, and told everyone that they had no say-so in this. It's,
And they don't.
They have a contract.
They're just content providers.
Yep.
Just like we don't have any say-so on how YouTube screws us over.
Yep.
But anyway.
But, unfortunately, they are, like you said, under contract with Discovery. So the show is basically theirs, is Discovery's, not Jason's and them's,
Right,
so
right.
They have to do what's going on with what they say, it's under the contract. So you guys quit fucking being dickheads to Jason and them. They don't fucking have any say in it. So I'm sure if they had say so, they would keep on giving you guys that content for free. I was just like you said, there's a lot of things going under that right now, and it's kind of it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it either. Evidently, a lot of other people don't like it, but I've been hearing watching a lot of people posting up stuff, talking shit or saying, "Oh, we can't follow you," because I follow Jason and them on Facebook on a lot of their pages,
right? And
the people on there being ignorant. I'm like, man,
yeah.
they don't have no say so. Like,
it's tough. It's tough. I mean,
I understand that they're pissed because they love the show. They're mad, but they're mad at the wrong people.
Right. Right. And it's sad, but, it is what it is. The one thing that I do like is what HBO Max is doing right now. HBO Max is releasing movies on their service the same day they come out in the theater.
Awesome.
I think that's really cool. Unfortunately, HBO Max is another service you got to pay for. But if you're a movie guy like I am, and like Ryan is, we love to go to the theater. Well, HBO Max is cheaper.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, with the TV sets that we have, the picture's better, the sound quality's better, and I don't have to worry about,
having
some 6-year-old kid behind me throwing popcorn at me.
Or having to have
because I
clothes
won't
on.
shut up.
You sit in your underwear, scratch your balls, be comfortable.
Yeah. Well, my wife won't like that.
Yeah, They don't like it either when
because my balls are in her purse. But, boom. But anyway.
But yeah, so let's get to
that's what we're talking about. So I just wanted to jump out here. I have watched a couple really cool movies here lately. Mm-hmm. Some newer stuff that's come out, and I just thought I'd tell you guys about them.
Cool. Let's get into some shit.
So one of the first movies I want to talk about, which it's funny, I heard about this movie on several different podcasts, Phantom Galaxy, and I kept hearing about it. And I had seen the cover art for it and thought it looked really interesting, but it just wasn't something that I had, I had peeped out for myself. But this is a movie called The Dark and the Wicked. It came out in 2020. This movie is, it's kind of got a little bit of everything. There's some gore in there. There's some suicidal actions. It's more along the lines of like a possession film almost.
Gotcha.
Basically, the gist of this is there's this family that lives on a secluded farm in some nondescript rural town. I don't remember the name of the town, but I do know that it's in Texas. And the father figure of the family is dying from some unknown disease. They don't really tell us why he's dying, but he's bedridden. And so as this man is slowly dying, his family starts gathering around to mourn. It's just, this old man and his wife, and all the kids are grown and have moved away, and as soon as there's two kids that come back, and it's really weird. The daughter, when she calls her mom and says, "Hey, I'm going to come home," and she's like, "No, don't do that. You don't need to be here. We're fine." And so she's like, "Oh, I'm coming anyway." Well, as soon as the family starts gathering, the darkness ensues.
So we'll leave it at that.
And
I don't want you
there's some weird stuff going on.
Because I haven't watched it yet either.
So the little synopsis here that I'm going to read you, it says, on a secluded farm in a nondescript rural town, a man is slowly dying. His family gathers to mourn, and soon a darkness grows, marked by waking nightmares and a growling sense that something evil is taking over the family. Very interesting concept in this movie. They're secluded, there's evil afoot, and
there's fuckery afoot here.
There's fuckery afoot.
There's fuckery afoot here.
It was just really cool. There's a lot of, no-name people in this. Well, they have names, but it's not anybody that you're going to go, "Oh, I know who that is," or "I know who that is."
Unless you know who they are.
Unless you know them. But it was definitely a good watch, though.
Cool. I haven't watched.
Very cool watch.
I've seen it on my
very cool
little.
It's
list
not
there.
like completely in your face, unadulterated horror, but it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's very creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah. Now you're not going to bring up any, because we're doing a special episode here coming up pretty soon with another podcast.
No, I'm not talking about anything we're talking about.
Okay, cool.
On them.
Cool.
These are just a couple movies that I've happened to watch over the past week. And
see, I've seen that the one we was talking about, The Dark and the
Dark and the Wicked.
I've seen that on my list. I just haven't watched it yet. So.
It's worth a watch. It's definitely worth a watch.
Sweet.
So, and I'm just going to run with this because I'm going to touch a little bit on all of these.
Ooh, when I think about you.
So, the movie I watched the other night was a movie I'd never heard of. It popped up on my...
I almost watched this. I didn't.
It popped up on... I think it was on Amazon, honestly. It was a movie called They Reach from 2020. And it was a movie. It was based in 1979. And basically, a young girl stumbles upon a possessed cassette tape player.
Yes, I did watch this.
Oh, dude, there was some cool shit going on in here.
Yes, I did.
She unknowingly unleashes a demonic entity that haunts her family while slowly dragging the small town of Clarkston to hell. It had some cool scenes in it, and I love the feeling of the movie. It had a lot of atmosphere, and we talk about that all the time, how a movie just sucks you in and makes you feel a certain time period of your life. Mm-hmm. And this movie did that for me.
The atmosphere was great. I remember this movie now. The atmosphere was great in this movie. I do remember feeling a little bit let down myself on, because, in the description, it sounds like it's fucking going to be... And it is a good movie, don't get me wrong, guys. It's definitely worth the watch. For me, though, I was like, oh, this could be so great. You know what?
I see what you're saying. They did kind of miss the mark.
This movie is like we've talked about before. There's these B-rated movies that have such a great concept, but they need a little bit more of a... And I'm not talking shit or being rude. But they need a better...
No, because it is a good movie.
They need a better... director and a better, more money, basically, a bigger budget.
Yeah. If this movie would have had a bigger budget, it would have been huge.
Yes.
But since it was a small movie, not a lot of people have heard about it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good movie.
We watch a lot, we listen to a lot of podcasts where they talk about their favorite movies of 2020, and I have never seen this movie pop up anywhere.
Yeah, and it's good.
And it's not that it's a bad movie. It's just not a stellar movie.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. But the atmosphere is great in this movie.
But it was a very fun watch, and if you want to get taken back in time, this movie will do it for you.
Yeah.
It almost reminded me of like, God, as bad as I don't want to say this, like a Goonies type or a maybe an It type of movie.
I was gonna say It,
where you've got some young kids that are fighting something evil,
which is what I love.
You know?
Which is one of my favorite storylines to a movie.
Yeah,
for me, I love it.
I mean, you've got greats like Silver Bullet.
Well, you said fucking It,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, oh yeah. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is a movie that I just watched last night. It was a movie called, and I know I'm going to screw this up because nobody ever says the name of this movie. It's either Shook or Shook.
I think it's Shook.
It's SHOOK.
Shook.
Came out in 2021. This movie totally had me on my ear. It was so... Look, it got a horrible review. Let me tell you guys, not a, star-studded cast or a fantastic, storyline here, but what they were doing was so innovative that it sucked me in, and I had to sit till the end of the movie, and I'm glad I did because the end of this movie is so twisted. So twisted. But basically, in this movie is a Shudder original. You can only see it on Shudder. But it's basically about a girl who she is like an internet entertainer, kind of like Ryan and I.
Yeah.
But except she's smoking hot and super popular.
Speak for yourself, asshole. Speak for yourself.
But anyway, so I'll read you through the little synopsis here. When Mia, a social media star, becomes the target of an online terror campaign, she has to solve a series of games to prevent people she cares about from getting murdered. But is it real, or is it just a game at her expense? And the whole time, you're trying to figure that out. Is this really happening? What the hell is going on? And slowly people start dying in this movie, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Cool.
It was an entertaining watch. The end of it, like I said, was super twisted. I personally, I had an idea, but I wasn't solid on it until the very end. I think if you guys get a chance, if you're a Shudder subscriber, definitely check this movie out. It's called Shook, SHOOK. You won't be disappointed.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out too. It's funny now because like with the way the world is now, everything's online and everything's like in your face.
Yeah.
So and people mess with everyone, and people just take it to a whole nother level anymore, man. Online, a lot of keyboard warriors out there, and. But who knows? You never know, man. People are fucking crazy. So, but I seen you had something written down. I want to talk about it real quick.
Well, I've got some upcoming movies coming up.
Yeah, we talked about some of this stuff, which we can talk about again. I don't care. But I've been hearing in the hollows of the horror world that there was some talk about Halloween Kills being pushed back again.
I had not heard that. I just checked today, and they were showing
still coming out
October 15th.
Awesome. Okay, because I've been hearing some talk out there in the horror world and the interwebs.
Well, and everybody's worried about the COVID thing. I get it. I do.
Because it's already filmed and done. So
yeah, this movie is completed, and I think they're most of the way through the third one.
All I can say is that theaters are open.
Yeah.
So we will be going to see that.
Speaking of Halloween, did you happen to see the pictures that Danielle Harris put up on
Which
Facebook?
Ones?
She just put up some totally nude photos of her holding her baby.
Yes.
Oh my God, she is so fucking cute. She is so cute.
Yeah,
that baby's cute too.
I follow her.
Harris,
I follow her online too. Yeah, yeah, I mean, but like I said, guys, I was worried about that. I've been hearing some talk about it, but it is what it is. I knew the movie was completed, so I was like, why the fuck would they wait to push it back? Like it's already completed, so there's no reason to do that, like at all. That's something I was talking about.
Yeah.
But some of these I'm looking at, we talked about before, which is great.
Some of them I haven't heard of.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that one. Let's talk about that.
That is, I just saw that today.
Okay.
So if you guys are a fan of the Purge series, which some of them are hits and some of them are misses, I'll give it that. But as a series,
I love the Purge.
Pretty cool.
I mean,
the concept behind that is fucking awesome. I'm not condoning murder by no means, but just the concept behind a plot for a film is spot on. I mean, some of the stuff that they pull off. But anyway, what we're talking about is they've got a new Purge coming out. It's called the Forever Purge. We don't know much about it right now. All we know is it is due to release on July 9th of this year. If you guys are fans of the Purge, hopefully you've checked out the Purge series.
Loved it.
Which was on FX?
Was it FX?
FX. That series was so good.
I liked it a lot.
And I hope it comes back.
Yep. I liked it a whole lot.
I hope it comes back because it was really good. It gave you a little more of a feel of what it would be like to go through that on the victim side.
And not only that, but like I was kind of thinking about this earlier whenever we were talking about doing some movies and things. I'm like, well, because we thrive ourselves on talking about horror and shit that's, and to me, this is a horrifying fucking aspect. The fact...
Oh, it's all horror.
The fact that society's broke down to a level to where we have people telling us, okay, it's okay to kill these people during this time. It's like, that's fucking creepy as shit. For me, now don't get me going to twist it. For me, back before I had kids, I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Now that I have children, I'm like, you gotta watch. It's just not a fucking good thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And to me, basically what I was getting at is like, would you consider that horror?
Absolutely. And
I would too.
Yeah.
I would too. It's kind of like
it's like if if a horror movie and an action movie had a baby, they would have the Purge.
Well, that's kind of that's like the new which I cannot fucking wait for, the new Mortal Kombat.
Oh, dude, that fucking preview looks so good
because it's rated R.
Yeah.
Shit tons of gore, fatalities. I mean, come the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? So that looks, and I was wondering myself, I'm like, would I consider that horror? I'm like, the other ones, no, but this one is a lot more gorier. It has all kinds of cool freaking shit. It looks fucking great.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now. There's a couple that I hit on my list. Did you look at any of the upcoming stuff?
Yeah, I seen a lot of it, but most of it we had already talked about before.
Right, and we're talking about, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Comes out June 4th. I don't know that I'm super excited about it, but it's a Conjuring movie, so I'm going to go see it.
Sorry, my boss is texting. So.
Well, you tell your boss to fuck off. But some that I ran into that I wasn't too informed on, there is a movie coming out called The Nighthouse. This movie is due out in July. Looks from the little synopsis that I read on the upcoming movies, it sounded pretty interesting. I'm actually looking at it on IMDb right now, and their synopsis sucks. Their synopsis is a widow begins to uncover her recently deceased husband's disturbing secrets. That's it. That's all you get. The long synopsis that I read on this was talking about how this house is actually haunted by ghosts of her husband's past. Mm-hmm. It just sounded interesting to me.
That sounds cool as shit.
I'm always into a good ghost story. I love ghost stories. Some of my favorite movies, The Legend of Hell House, Poltergeist, the Conjuring series. I mean, I love a good ghost story. That's what I'm into. And this I hope it kind of hits the bar.
Yeah, I love the concept.
Yeah.
I really do like that concept. Yeah. It's it's funny, man. Today, like, my freaking sinuses were killing me earlier.
So your face was killing me.
I had a fucking headache real bad, so I was just chilling in bed at the house, and I put in Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Oh.
Which is...
What's that?
I forgot how much I loved that movie. I love all the Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the whole series. I don't care. I love the whole series. But part 4 is the one where her brother does martial arts, and she basically, the concept of that one is like she gets their powers. She gets their powers as each friend gets killed. She gets something from them that they had that.
Right.
But I just forgot how fucking nostalgic those movies are. The music, the atmosphere of those movies, they had different, there's two things that whole series had, that they did 100% fucking right. Even though there was different directors on almost every one of them except for 2. The atmosphere was always fucking great in those movies. Yeah, even part 2, because I hate part 2, but even part 2, the atmosphere was cool. That the music was great, you know what I'm saying? That they really brought you in, and of course, fucking Robert Englund played Freddy Krueger in every one of them, so that's where they really fucking hit the mark, keeping him as, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, definitely.
But I forgot how much I loved, like, the music and everything in it, man. Just it was so... It was so freaking, I don't know, just to kick back to when I was younger. And I just, I probably haven't watched Nightmare on Elm Street in probably fucking 4 years.
Wow.
I
tried to watch the remake not too long ago.
I have watched the remake fairly recent. Well, not sooner, but then when I watched the old one, I watched it probably about a year ago. I watched the remake, which I loved the atmosphere in that one. Didn't care for fucking Krueger in it, but I loved the atmosphere of that one. Very dark, Well, and
I'll tell you why I tried to rewatch it. The first time I saw the Friday the 13th remake, I hated that movie. But then, after it, because I went to the theater and saw it, and walked out of there disappointed. And once... You whistling at me?
My damn boss is fucking...
But once it came out on video, I found it in the $5 bin.
I find a lot. Hey, you laugh, but I find a lot of good movies in the fucking $5 bin.
So I bought it, and here's the thing: I really like Jared Padalecki.
Yes,
I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
And so he's what sold me on that film. So after I watched it again. I thought, oh, maybe it's not so bad, Well, then, now I've watched it 2 or 3 times, and we did a big episode about this on Friday the 13th. Uh-huh. It's actually a decent movie. So I thought, I'll give the Friday the 13th remake the Nightmare on Elm Street remake a go again. And, I agree with you. I like the darkness of the film. I just can't get past
Put it this way. If Robert Englund was in that fucking movie,
I'd probably love it.
That would be a fucking stellar fucking movie.
Yeah, I'd probably love it.
In my eyes, if Robert Englund was in that movie, it would have fucking been hitting the ball out of the fucking park.
Oh my God. I got to say this. Did you see the text that I sent to Bill and Nathan the other day?
Yeah.
So Ryan and I are going to partner up with Phantom Galaxy Podcast. We are doing what they call VOD roulette. And basically what that is video on demand roulette. All 4 of us are going to pick a film, which we've already picked our films.
We're not telling you fuckers.
We've already picked our films. And so we all pick a film that we haven't seen. And... hopefully the other guys haven't seen it, and we're all going to watch these films, and then we're going to do a show, and we're going to talk about them. Very cool concept. I love that these guys do this. I've listened to some of their other VOD roulettes, and they're freaking killer. Killer. So anyway, one of the movies they picked, I watched the other night, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, I had to send Nathan and Bill a message. I'm like, oh my God, it's Tina. And they sent me a big question mark. They're like, what? And I'm like, from Nightmare on Elm Street. And they were like, oh, he must be watching this film, and I was. It just kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm 100%. In my mind, man, if Robert Englund was in that remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, it would have fucking been probably the best, to me, the best remake. It would have been perfect. The darkness of it, I loved it, except for Krueger. That's the only part I did not like in that whole movie. Yeah. That's the only part I didn't like.
I think in that film they got a little too much into his backstory.
Yeah,
just a little.
I agree with you.
I mean, we knew from the original what had happened, what he had done. But the remake, they took that to a different level.
Well, even in part 4, which I just watched, even in part 4, there's a scene where they're going back to the Krueger house, and they're talking, and the two guys are like, don't you know who Freddy Krueger is? He was a
child molester.
Well, he didn't say that. He said they said he was a child killer.
Oh,
and it's clear.
Well, and they even told us in the first film. What had happened. But they just didn't elaborate on it. They didn't go to the extreme that the remake did.
Yeah.
But
then again, I mean, it's that is not as bad as like with the Halloween thing. The Halloween remakes by Zombie, he went way
too far in the
way
backstory.
deep in it.
I'm not going to knock that first film. That first film, the brutality in it is epic.
Yeah.
Epic. And I love Rob Zombie films. I like when he is doing his own story. I just feel that the Rob Zombie Halloween remake, which came out in, 2007, he just went too far into the Michael Myers backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, but, yeah.
And that may be a personal thing because... if you guys have listened to the show before, you know that Halloween 1978 is my all-time favorite film. I absolutely love that movie.
But yeah, man, it's just I forgot how much I like I love the Nightmare on Elm Street, the atmosphere, the whole series. Because and like I said, there was only there's all different directors except for 2 of them. Wes Craven did, the first one, and then New Nightmare.
Right.
But, like, they kept the atmosphere the same almost. Part 2 is the only one that I do not like. The atmosphere is cool in it, but it just went... It went
in a weird direction.
It's just... Yeah. But all the other ones, man, part fucking 3, 4, and 5, bam. I mean, man, just the music, the whole thing, it brought me back, and I forgot how much I liked them.
The welcome to primetime, bitch.
Welcome to primetime, bitch.
But anyway, I was just looking this up, that Nighthouse movie I was talking about a while ago. I found the other synopsis that I had read, and it just sounded more interesting. So this movie is supposed to be one of the most critically acclaimed horror movies of the summer. It was directed by The Ritual and VHS director David Bruckner. The movie stars Rebecca Hall as a widow who starts to uncover her late husband's secrets following a series of hauntings at the lakeside home he built for her. So it kind of grabbed me.
That sounds a lot better.
A lot better than what they told us on IMDb.
I like the concept.
Definitely.
Sounds like it's going to be really good.
Definitely. And this had all kinds of stuff. We got Don't Breathe.
Ooh, Candyman, man. I cannot wait for Candyman.
So Candyman, we finally have a release date for that. If they stay true to it, it's going to be August 27th of 2021.
This year.
Completely different concept from the original movies.
Well, this one's like
where they're going with it.
Yeah, this one's like a what would you say? It's prelude, or not a prelude, but a continuation?
It's a continuation, but it's more of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers feel is what it kind of feels like to me. Basically, the main character is going to be possessed by the soul of the Candyman.
Oh, so that's the
premise of the new film.
And that guy's a good actor too.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a really good actor.
So I think we're going to be in for a good one. And who Ryan's talking about is this guy. His name's Abdul Mateen. He has been in a lot of stuff. I think he did the Black Panther movie. And now I'm drawing a blank.
But no, he's a really great actor.
Popped right out of my
He also
head.
played in Aquaman.
Aquaman, yeah.
But he's a really good actor, so and it looks like it's going to be a great film.
Yeah.
I cannot
some
wait.
really cool stuff coming out. There's a new movie that probably a lot of people haven't heard about, and that is a movie called Malignant. Malignant, look at my note here. Malignant comes out September 10th of 2021. It is a new James Wan film. James Wan has not only created a horror empire with his Conjuring universe, but he recently became among directors of the DCAEU movies. But even so, he's now directed a wholly original horror idea in Malignant. We don't know a whole lot about this film right now because they've been kind of keeping it hush-hush. But if James Wan is involved in this, it's going to be good.
Hell yeah.
It is going to be stellar.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this.
Especially if it's his own. Yeah, man, this is going to be
if it's his own vision, I think it's going to be killer.
Ooh, what's that Dark Harvest?
So Dark Harvest is one that I've got that I wanted to talk about. It comes out September 24th of 2021.
Fucking right. That looks sweet.
Dark Harvest is it's during the Halloween time. It follows the work of this guy. His name's David Slade, who apparently wrote the series for this. There was a series called Dark Harvest that was on TV for a while, but I don't remember that.
Gotcha.
I apparently never caught that. But this is what they call a groundbreaking choose-your-own adventure. If you guys have seen the Black Mirror series, there was an episode, and this will frickin' blow your mind. It's right up there with it says Bandersnatch, but I'm not sure if that's right. Basically, what it is you get to points in the film, and you make a choice on where you want to go.
Fuck yeah.
And then, so what you do is you choose that choice, and it will flip to the choice that you made.
Oh, badass.
Yeah. Black Mirror did a really good job on this. Of course, this is one of those you got to have a DVD or a Blu-ray to watch it. But it's one of those movies where you have to make a choice and you decide the outcome of the film.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. This is basically, it's set on Halloween in 1963 and follows the October boy, Old Hacksaw Face, or also known as Sawtooth Jack. Just like every year, he rises from the cornfield in a Midwestern town with a butcher knife to a gang of teen boys who seek to confront him.
Man.
So
sounds awesome.
This sounds really cool because it sounds like one of those you're going to be able to make the choice on, is he going to kill Bill or is he going to kill Ryan? Is he going to, what's he going to do?
That's awesome.
I think that'll be a very fun watch.
Shit, yeah, sounds cool as shit.
Probably what they'll end up doing is if they put this on TV, they'll make the choices for you.
Yeah.
But if you buy the DVD or the Blu-ray, depending on how it comes out, you'll be able to make choices yourself.
That's awesome.
And you can create your own horror movie.
Didn't they do that with Final Destination? One of them, I believe that they did.
That.
I believe that they did.
Remember that.
They did that with Final Destination. It was like Live or Die.
Yeah. I don't remember that. But the last thing I want to talk about here, and then we've got some other stuff to talk about, but the last upcoming thing I want to talk about is something that I thought was really freaking cool. Netflix is going to release a series of movies. They're called Fear Street Trilogy. And what they're going to do is they're going to have one movie that is based in 1994.
R.L. Stein.
They're going to have another movie that's based in 1978, and then another film that's based in 1666. And if you heard Ryan, all of these are based on the R.L. Stein Fear Street book series.
Fucking right.
And if we know R.L. Stein, he did all the Goosebumps stuff.
And a bunch.
So
Witching Hour or Haunting Hour.
Yeah. I think it sounds really cool, and what this leads up to is something I'm super stoked about. Netflix is doing an event this year. They're coining the Summer of Fear. Basically, what's going on is Netflix all summer is going to be releasing horror films left and right to get us ready for the Halloween season.
Shit, yeah.
And this is part of their series. So what they're going to do on this series is that, like I said, it's 3 different films, and they're going to release them a month apart. So you'll be able to watch the first one several times if you want, and then you'll go to the second one. Now, they're all going to be different stories because they're in different timelines. And you know how R.L. Stein works.
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling what's going to come out of these things.
See, that's cool, man, because I just, it's funny, today my son was telling me, because I just introduced him to R.L. Stein Hunting Hour, which is, there's a few movies out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 5 or 6 different ones.
Yeah.
And he watched one, both of them watched one the other day, and they went to watch another one today, so that's cool. I just introduced him.
Now, what I don't know is you guys know that R.L. Stein is really big on children's movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at Goosebumps.
I love it.
Great films. I mean, they're great stories. Yeah. The books were awesome. Adults can read them. Kids aren't too petrified.
I still enjoy them.
You know, and like he was talking, the Haunting Hour, same way. You know, they're basically revolve around a kids series, but they're good for adults. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know,
what's cool about it though is that this gives you a chance to introduce your kids to scary and horror stuff. You know,
definitely.
You know?
Well, I don't know.
We don't know yet on this one.
On this
but on
one.
the other ones I mentioned.
But on Goosebumps and the Haunting Hour.
Yeah.
And there's something else that they do.
He's done so much.
Schwartz did the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark,
which is great
Alvin
too.
Schwartz. Which the movie was very fun, but I don't know that that's something that I would want my kids to watch. You know, I don't know.
Well, you know, that's like a lot of people said that. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was kind of like a, you know, kids type thing. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what it was based on.
Right.
Kid, you know, that movie was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was, and I liked it, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
I liked the way the story led on that, and how they wrapped everything up in the end. And
it's exactly the way I thought it should be, man. You know, but yeah, there's a lot of awesome up and coming stuff coming out, movie wise and things like that, TV shows.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff.
But I want to talk to you. I want to bring up some shit I thought you'd like to check out, and some paranormal stuff. So this you're really gonna fucking like. Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty fucking cool. Pretty weird as shit, creepy too, but it's interesting. So there's this rocker guy. He's a metal band, right? His name is Iago Annex. Okay. So he made this quote, and I'll ask you what you think he meant by this in just a second. So he said this. He said that his uncle will be smiling up from hell. Why do you think he said that?
Because his uncle was an asshole and he went to hell.
Well, he said that because he turned his uncle's skeleton into a guitar.
Oh.
And he
saw that picture.
and he plays the son of a bitch.
Hell yeah.
In his band.
Now that's fucking metal, dude.
And he said that there was a lot of trial and error.
I bet, because I would assume that a rib cage and a torso would not be acoustically sound.
Well, and that's it's pretty crazy that I was just like, wow, man.
Maybe I'm wrong. Never tried it.
But yeah, I thought you would like that. But so
I know my instruments. I'm a bass player, so it really depends on what wood the instrument is made on what tonal note you get out of it. Mm-hmm. So now I don't know who knows. Maybe he's got his uncle's wood, and he's playing it. But I don't think that bone is going to be very tonally adequate.
Who knows?
But who knows?
They used it for years.
I guess the right kind of pickup.
Mm. So I got another story for you. So, there's a woman by the name of Siti Zanaha.
If you tell me she's playing the skin flute.
No. So, well, this is interesting. So this woman is in Indonesia.
Indonesia's got some... Well, never mind.
So, she claims that she got pregnant by a gust of wind. She was praying. Check the story out, though. This is the only reason why I put this in here, is because everyone's like, oh yeah, she's crazy, but check this out. She just got done praying. She's in Indonesia, so she just got done praying, and as she was, as she was kneeling down praying, she said a gust of wind swirled around her like a tornado. She was like in the middle of this gust of wind. And it went into her vagina.
It was a spermado.
Here all week, folks. So she said it went into her vagina, and she gave birth an hour later.
What the fuck? Damn.
So that's why I put it in there. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Wow. That's a really short incubation period.
Evidently, fucking ghost sperm is highly fucking potent.
No shit. Well, did you ever hear the story about the lady that married a dead pirate?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't know how they consummated, but,
It is what it is, man. Oh, real quick, though, I want to talk to you about something, too. Did you watch The Stand?
The new one?
No, the original.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch the new one yet?
No.
I have not.
It's on my radar because one of the guys at work has been watching it, and he said it's really good.
Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna go home and probably watch some of it tonight. Okay. I like the first one a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the storytelling. I mean, it's kind of like with the original It. I just love the way they tell the story, and I like the way that the fucking atmosphere is with it. It's
and it's really crazy because a lot of those movies, The Stand, made for TV movie, based off a Stephen King book. Great series.
Yes.
The Langoliers, made for TV movie, based on a Stephen King book. Great story.
It.
Was it a made for TV movie?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Written by Stephen King. Great film. Salem's Lot. Made for TV series. There's a
theme here.
Yeah.
Common theme here.
I am very interested in the CBS Plus version of the new Stand. The original was a great series, and I would really like to see what they're doing with it now.
I'm gonna probably check it out when I get home tonight.
Yeah, so absolutely.
But I wanted to bring that up real quick because I seen that popped up on my thing. I'm like, that could be pretty good. So one other thing I kind of want to talk about. I think you looked into it yourself.
I did. I kind of want to read through this. So Ryan had brought up this thing to me about, if you guys have been paying attention to the news, there's been a huge uptick in the amount of exorcisms being performed right now. We don't really know why, but whenever he brought this up to me, I started digging into it, and I ran into some really curious stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through. This was a story that I pulled some information out of. This was actually on ABC News. Okay? So, in popular culture, exorcism often serves as a plot device in chilling films about demonic possession. We all know that 1973's The Exorcist, one of the most, well, not the most, but the greatest possession movie ever made. Very cool. I just can't say enough about that film. So what we're going to get into here is a story that actually happened last year. There were 2 Roman Catholic archbishops who showed a different face of exorcism. They were performing the rite at well-attended outdoor ceremonies to drive out an evil spirit lingering after a simonious protest. They were having a lot of protests and stuff. So where this happened was in Portland, Oregon. Archbishop Alexander Sample led a procession of more than 200 people to
procession,
I'm sorry. Led a procession of more than 200 people to a city park on October 17th. This was last year, folks. He offered a prayer, then conducted a Latin exorcism rite intended to purge the community of evil. Okay, Portland, Oregon. On the same day, 600 miles south, San Francisco Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone,
Salvatore Cordileone.
He performed an exorcism ceremony outside a Catholic church in San Rafael, where protesters had earlier toppled a statue of Father Junipero Serra. Junipero Serra was not a saint, but he was high up in the Catholic faith, and he fought evil through exorcism and different things. So we all know that The Exorcist is the most memorable horror film of all time. Came out in 1973. It depicts exorcism as a relatively rare and secretive endeavor. But it's now so common that some exorcists combat demons remotely using their cell phone, according to the guy that was writing this article. His name was Alexander Chestnut. The driving force behind the surge since the 1980s has been the spread of Pentecostal churches that highlight the conflict between demons and the Holy Spirit. Pope Francis, our great Pope, well, I don't know, not our great Pope, but the great Pope at the Vatican, okay, Pope Francis has acknowledged the legitimacy of the practice, and a Vatican-approved university in Rome has been conducting exorcism training sessions during Francis's papacy for priests from around the world. Now, here's where it gets really crazy. In September, Pope Francis named 3 new auxiliary archbishops from the Archdiocese of Chicago. One of them was Jeffrey Crabb, one of the top exorcism experts in the Archdiocese. In the United States, one of the premier Catholic entities focused on exorcism is Pope Leo III Institute in Chicago, which is a suburb of Libertyville. In a statement on its website, the Institute acknowledges there is some skepticism about exorcism and demonic possession. The Institute says its curriculum is devoted to the importance of knowing how to discern whether someone is truly possessed or whether they are some sort of psychiatric or psychological illness. Now, we are talking about a university in Chicago that is training priests for exorcism.
You know, and
Why?
And here's
why, people? Why is this going on now?
And here's the thing, like, you know, we're not really a religious podcast. However, we do believe in horrifying things, good and evil.
Yeah. You
Evil,
can't have good without evil.
Evil is there, you know. What it is, I don't know. You guys know our stories. We've already talked about it. We talked about how we feel about everything. Now, that being said, evil is there. I'm a dimensional guy. So I believe there's higher and lower dimensions. Maybe these things that you call demons are from a different dimension, the lower dimensions. So they're trying to figure out how to combat these things, and this is the way they want to combat them.
But it's really strange. For hundreds of years, we've been turning down the rites of exorcism. And now, all of a sudden,
it's up.
We're bringing it back.
Now you got a fucking university.
And now you have a university in Chicago, Illinois, people.
Well, and think about it.
Teaching the rites of exorcism.
And if you think about the violence there, why is there so much violence there?
Agreed.
You see where I'm going?
Agreed, yeah.
So it's kind of like, there's an evil fucking presence there. You know what I mean? And this is their way of fighting it. My thing is
living together.
My thing is, you know, so they talked about the wellness of someone. Are they possessed, or are they just mentally ill and this and that? My thing is, what if it's both?
And it's possible, but there is proof that there were. Well, I say proof, but there is conjecture that people that were considered possessed back in early times could have possibly just had some sort of schizophrenia, psychopathy. You know, there's a number of things. They basically had a brain disorder. But how do we know?
Well, we don't. Here's the thing. It's just like any other predator, you know, coward, or anything else out there. If you're going after someone, are you going to go after someone who's fucking strong?
No, you're going to go after the weakest link.
So, if your mind is
That's
weak,
why you hit him in the kneecap.
If your mind is weak, it's easier for something to take hold of you.
The mind is weak, but the body is strong.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So, let's say you are a little slower minded.
Mm-hmm.
You are more easily influenced, and you know something is more likely to be able to do what it needs to do to take over you or to affect the way you think. So my thing is that there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world right now, guys, and I'm not talking about political.
And
I'm not talking about
exorcism.
And we're not even talking about
this is just a weird thing that has happened here recently, you know.
And we're not even talking about USA, all over the world. So for all of our family, our horror fam out there, like this is everywhere we're talking about. The you know, the instances of UFO sightings, the fucking, you know, I mean,
wasn't even going to get into that, but I had a whole other story on that.
You know, there's just so much paranormal or supernatural shit going on right now that, you know, something's going on. Who fucking knows?
There was a story out there about the former director of the DOD, which is Department of Defense, has talked about how he has acknowledged the presence of what. So the government made a change. They used to consider them UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Now they call them UAPs. They're unidentified aerial phenomena. Mm-hmm. And this former director, which I'm not going to mention his name, he has come out and acknowledged the fact that there are UAPs, UFOs, that the government knows about, that are not giving the public all the information they need.
Oh, 100%. And Joe Rogan has had multiple people on his podcast fairly recently. He's getting deep into this
one
now.
of his best shows was that show he did with Bob Lazar.
Dude, you should hear the one he just did with another guy. What's his name? Robert something. Hold on, I'm going to talk about this one. I'll bring it up really, really quick, guys. But he just did another episode with...
You guys should know that Ryan and I are really big on the UFO thing. No, we're not sitting here wearing tinfoil hats. We're not conspiracy theorists.
I am.
Well, okay, Ryan is. I'm not. I have a vain interest in it. And
Robert Bigelow.
He
just did this episode.
Gigolo.
Episode 1612 of the Joe Rogan podcast. Listen to that
1612? What?
He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire.
Why's that guy got so many goddamn episodes? We're only at like fucking, I don't know, 200 or something.
He's a fucking billionaire, this Robert Bigelow guy. And he was friends with Bob Lazar. He knew him. But he, only reason he made money is he had his first UFO experience when he was very, very young. And then now he's a super, wealthy businessman who built all of his own shit. And only reason he wanted to make billions of dollars so he can dig deeper into fucking into this shit. But my thing, guys, what I'm getting at here is there's so much. This year's gonna be fucking weird, man. There's a lot of paranormal shit going on. There's a lot of fucking supernatural shit.
There's a lot of weird stuff coming out in the news that you don't have to take our word for it. Get on Google. Start looking at some of this stuff.
Or DuckDuckGo.
I was just going to bring that up. Google won't tell you everything. There's another search engine out there called DuckDuckGo that will tell you everything. Google is very smart.
It's owned by certain people,
but it is fairly limited. You go over to DuckDuckGo and they will tell you about some shit that will curl your hair
and your butt hair. Curls my.
I don't have any because I use Manscaped.
Silky smooth. My fart sound like a trumpet.
I'm gonna start calling him trumpet ass.
Old trumpet ass over there.
Hell yeah!
But anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring that up, because there's
very cool shit. Stay informed, people.
There's a lot of cool paranormal, supernatural shit going on out there, guys. Yeah. If you guys come across anything fucking. And then that you come across that's the news about paranormal, supernatural, send us a fucking link.
Yeah, definitely.
Please, and we'll talk about it. We'll give you a shout out.
All that stuff.
We'll give you a shout out and we'll talk about it. Okay.
The next episode will be all conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, that's my.
No, probably not.
That's my other podcast. I'll be starting soon enough. But anyways, guys, if you do run across some links, send them to us and we'll fucking shout you out. So
what we're getting at here, folks, with this episode is get out to your theaters, support. Movie theaters.
As much as you can.
As much as you can, because they're disappearing quick. We just lost our last video store in the town
and theater.
We don't know if it's coming back.
I don't think any Regals are coming back.
We're in trouble. Hollywood's hurting. The movie fans are hurting. We need something spectacular to happen. So support them as much as you can.
That's right, guys. Show them love. But more importantly, guys, we love you guys. Thank you for your support.
Absolutely.
Our horror fans growing every day. You guys are awesome. Keep getting the word out there. We're going to keep putting out badass podcasts for you. You guys know what we're about to say. Until next time, keep it creepy.